Hello, friends and lovers. I say that because it's a song title. It just popped in my head. Anyways, hope everybody is having a wonderful, beautiful summer week in Maine. The weather has been amazing. We've had a couple thunderstorms here and there, but right now it's humid, which a lot of people don't like in Maine. I'm not a huge fan of it if it's too humid. It's a little more comfortable tonight, actually, than it was last night. I mowed the property earlier, late afternoon. It was very hot, about 90 degrees, very humid. I ended up drenching myself with the garden hose on the side of the building. I got all the chores done. So another bug just randomly flew into my face. It's like, look at this big open space here walking. Bugs literally have what equates to miles in either direction to not hit me. What's the odds one of them twice now on this walk? A bug flies right in my face. What the hell's up with that, right? So, I expended some pretty good energy mowing the property earlier. I don't use a push mower, but I use a follow behind mower. How's that? You still have to pull it and sometimes push it. It's got a cam in it. Come on.
Get over here. Come. Stop. Go. Go. Go.
Hi. How you doing?
Now.
You don't have to bark at me.
You'll be a good girl.
Be a good girl.
Be good. Come on.
I'm not a bad person.
Come on.
They know when somebody's good.
Go. Down. Down.
It's like you get your hands full with this one.
Yeah. Go.
Have a good night. Well, that was funny. That dog gave me a couple sniffs, and then the dog was jumping on me, having fun. Dogs like me. So anyways, good night tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a sweaty walk tonight, but compared to mowing the property today when it was 90 degrees and very humid, probably won't be too bad. I do have a little bit of kind of heartburn tonight. Not from anything I ate other than the ibuprofen I took, which does upset my stomach and causes heartburn because it is pretty harsh on the stomach lining. I did take it after eating. Also drank plenty of liquids. The thing is, because of my size, I can't take just 2 or 3. I have to take 6, which is a prescription strength Motrin. And it's rough on the stomach. Definitely not recommended to take that too often. Had been a while. But the reason why I took that is was getting one of those, what I call a heat headache. I call it a heat headache. And I used to get that when I would play ice hockey too, sometimes. If I had sweat dripping off my nose, I got my heart rate right up. It's basically a kind of like cardiovascular thing. It just means that I really got my heart rate up and I sweat a lot. So I end up getting a headache, and I call them heat headaches. First started getting those when I was about 10 years old. Just had a bug on my shin. When it gets warm and humid like this, it gets buggy. I'm sure it's a lot worse down south. I had a weird looking yellow and black thing. Almost kind of a yellow-green on my arm. I don't know what it was, but it bit me. Hope I'm not gonna die. Didn't itch too bad. I took a shower and then it was fine. I'm gonna see if I can look up biting insects in Maine. It wasn't a black fly. I know what those look like. Oh, I forgot my flashlight. I wanted to bring my flashlight. I'll have to use the one on my phone. Another bug just hit my neck. What the hell's up with that? And all these bugs literally have all this space here to fly around in. They gotta hit me. That doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna lie, after doing all that mowing on the property, like I said, it's not just a front lawn, okay? It's pretty good size to do with a walk behind mower. It takes over an hour, and grass was a little longer than it should have been, so it was a little more work. And basically I mowed it because I guess we're going to get the remnants of Hurricane Beryl, which was making landfall into Texas early this morning. Category 1, nothing for those guys. They have these break walls and stuff, and they can handle Cat 4s. Cat 5 might give them a problem, but a Cat 4 or less, other than flooding caused by it, they should weather that well. And so that's going to go up into the Midwest and curve east. And because we have this kind of like southern airflow right now, bringing this humidity, which it is humid, we should get some rain from that. Pretty sure we will. Forecast says about an inch of rain Thursday into Friday. That's about the same timing for this. So we have had absolutely beautiful weather. We have. This weekend was spectacular, except for Saturday. Saturday was overcast, very humid, and I'm very thankful the sun wasn't out Saturday because it was awful. But we had thunderstorms after, and it's still humid after the storms, but not like it was. Usually when I go shooting, I don't have a problem with my shooting glasses fogging up. And I had that problem Saturday. I couldn't see. So we'll see if there's any deer through here tonight. My last walk, we had a deer with a baby deer, a fawn, was running through the field. I gotta get my flashlight out so people can tell somebody's walking there. Nope, I don't see anything out here tonight. I don't see no baby deer. Not that you guys would see it anyway, because I see them out here and I go, hope you guys can see those. And then when I watch the video, if they're moving, you can see something move, but can't tell if they're deer or not. Apologies for that. All right, got a car coming straight at us. I see the headlight shining off the lines that are on the pole. Cut off to the left here and get out of people's way. So, apparently the United States flag isn't racist anymore. How do I know that? Well, I've been seeing them outside of houses where I know liberals live. We just passed one. So, been seeing interesting clips this week of different Americans from different backgrounds wishing we could unify. And a lot of people aren't very different. Don't like it when dogs do that when they go by. In fact, I hate that. So anyways, see a bunch of Americans that have differing ideas and of what America should be. Which is funny because America should be consistent of people with differing ideas. It's got to be a way to talk about things. So we need to work things out. I know it's possible. Got the light shining here. And we got a car coming, so I'm going to veer off to the left, just in case. Kind of a nice sky there in the distance, I think. Don't know if you agree or not. Keep my flashlight on until I get on the sidewalk again. Anyway, what I was saying earlier, so I'm not gonna lie, I had to convince myself a little bit to walk tonight because I mowed the property. And I'll stop over here and go. There. Phone back in my pocket. Gone a little over a mile. We've got less than 4 to go. I'm definitely taking an easy 5-mile route tonight. Got a new fence up here for a while now until we get another storm. I'm not sure if they did anything different as far as how it's built. We'll see. That's the 3rd fence they've gone through since I've been walking. Oh, this guy's got high beams on. I really hate that. Don't know why people do that in the city. Not supposed to. It's very annoying. Very interesting exchange today in the White House between the press secretary and a CBS News correspondent. the CBS News that hates Trump. Right now, they're not happy that Biden won't resign. They're trying to help things along. They very clearly was going after the press secretary because the White House is not forthcoming with information about a neurologist who has visited Biden 3 times since last year, who specializes in Parkinson's. They're trying to keep a lid on Biden's health. And the mainstream media now is all of a sudden doing their damn job like they should have been 3 years ago before he was even elected. He showed signs of decline campaigning from the basement. Thought he was off camera sticking his hand out for a cue card because he couldn't remember his talking points. So, just to refresh your memory, Parkinson's has memory issues, speaking issues, symptoms and signs of dementia, as well as walking stiffly, having a walking gait, a gated walk, kind of a shuffling along walking, falling down, neurological issues. He has shown all of that. And it's not the beginning stages of Parkinson's. So they have kept us quiet since before he was elected. Probably thought he could get through his next term, or at least through the election. And now the cat's out of the bag. And they're scrambling. It's a magnificent thing to watch happen. The media is really going after him now. And they're doing what they should have been doing. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're complicit. They're guilty of propping up this fraud on the American people. MSNBC is still covering for Joe, but that's a matter of time. They're trying to tell people that what you're seeing isn't really what you're seeing. Which, if you've read Orwell's 1984, that was one of the biggest they said that was the party's final act, convincing people they didn't see what they're really seeing. So that's what they're doing. And this CBS correspondent, Dan O'Keefe, pretty respected journalist, was really going after her, getting actually into an argument with her, saying that the White House isn't being forthcoming with his medical condition. And they're not letting them get away with it. I'm really happy to see that. I wish it was under better circumstances. I wish they had been doing that all along. We probably wouldn't be here now. But at least they're doing something, and they're only doing it because they know Trump's going to win the election. They've seen the numbers. They don't want Trump to win. They know Trump is going to win if Biden stays in there, but they're also not going to win with somebody else. In fact, their chances of winning are actually worse. And I think they're panicking. They know they're screwed. got somebody stumbling up the sidewalk here, talking to themselves. Somebody on the phone, I guess. Yep, they are definitely intoxed. So I'm going to cut on the street here. They look intoxed. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
And that's what you got to do. Always make eye contact with somebody and say hi to them. Reason why you do that, and I had this in interpersonal relationships, is in college, is that if you make eye contact with somebody, it forces somebody to let their guard down or to keep it up. So when you make eye contact with somebody, like I just did, and say, how you doing? He automatically gave me that look in his eyes like he didn't want any trouble. So that's why I did that. Now, if it was somebody that wanted to give you trouble, you were being nice and polite to them. And if they start giving you a hard time, you have to keep eye contact with them, but not in a menacing way like you're threatening them. Well, you're basically letting them know that you're not afraid of them. So they have to wonder why and make a decision to keep going. Now, this was a teenager who was just kind of like bumbling up the sidewalk like they've been drinking or on something, giggling to whoever they're talking to on the phone. So I'm not too concerned about that. And the kind of things that we see lately with people randomly attacking you because it's funny. He's talking to somebody on the phone. You don't know if they're live streaming online or if they thought it'd be funny to do something, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's the age we live in. And yes, I understand. 99% of the time, nothing's gonna happen. It's just situational awareness. Better to be cautious than have a surprise. So that's what I do. Now we got somebody here speeding. I'm gonna go up on the lawn. Put the brakes on before the hill. It's a nice little stretch here to speed up, but it's also not the smartest thing to do on this stretch. It is residential, after all. Speed limit's 25. So anyway, these people want Trump gone, big time. Bigly, as Trump used to say. Big league. So the media does not want him to win. And he's winning. It's just funny watching them scramble like they have been. There you have it. There it is. Right now, Joe is not mounting any kind of defense at all. He's in his little bubble, and they're telling him, don't worry about it. We're going to win again. You're doing fine, but I think they're just pacifying Biden until they pull a fast one at the DNC convention. I'm going to be glued to that. I'm going to see what happens with Joe. They don't want him in there. Donors don't want him. Jill Biden, his wife, she's on a power trip right now, and it's not going to work out well for her. She should have had him resign. It's a shame to see it, and people know it now. You know, she's behaving like she's the president, posting pictures of herself on her Twitter sitting behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. Now she's laughing at everybody, okay? So I think the media senses that. They know what's going on. And I think they resent it. I don't think they're going to openly say it right now, but that's coming soon. They have lost the New York Times. They have lost Stephen King, for crying out loud. Stephen King made a post yesterday saying Biden needs to step down. Mark Hamill has said the same thing. We love you, Joe. You've served us well, but it's time to step aside. That's what Stephen King said. So let me tell you, folks, when you lose Stephen King, you're finished. There's thousands of Democrats who want him to step down. They don't want him in power. He's not going to win. He's just not at this point. And they know that. But the real problem is they don't have anybody to put in against Trump. And like I've said, like on 2 or 3 walks now, what do you do with Kamala Harris, first black woman vice president? Give her a snub? Or do you make her the candidate? She's not going to win either. She's one of the people in the White House that people are not happy with. They are in a quandary, in a pickle. I'm loving it. I haven't seen the Democratic Party struggling in trouble like this in my whole lifetime. Not since the 70s when I was a kid. Not since Ronald Reagan handed Walter Mondale's ass to him in that election. Walter Mondale got 4 electoral college votes. To put that in perspective, that's 4 more than you got and you didn't even run. That's a close race for somebody that didn't even run in it. I think the math is starting to settle in and make sense. They wanted to wait until after the debate to see how the polls did. Well, the polls have come in and it's even worse than they thought. So that's it. Biden stays in there. That's awesome. And then they were even taunted by Trump because Trump made a post on True Social asking, Joe, please stay in, Joe. Please, I love these poll numbers. And he should gloat after what they've done to him. And they're planning new indictments before the election, knowing there won't be enough time for a trial. But there is enough time to get another indictment for something, hoping that helps. It's not going to. People have caught on to the scheme. In fact, it's going to hurt Biden even more because these idiots just don't get it. It's all you see online right now. Trump this, he's convicted of this, he's that, he's that. Nobody is saying, okay, this is Biden's plan so people could have affordable food. This is Biden's plan to fix your rent being doubled, which it has in many states. Have no idea how people are paying their rent. They must be screaming to the friggin' universe. They're not going to vote for Biden. They're just not. The Democrats are blaming everybody but themselves. It's this fault, it's that fault. It's the people have the information. Now you have places like X and other sources that aren't playing the censorship game. And, you know, you go to other places and then you go back to Facebook, and Facebook, you can't even scratch your ass making it T because it stands for Trump and they'll censor you. So, people are not happy with it. I saw that rent has almost doubled from 2020 until now. Price of food's not going down, it's going up. The White House is trying to blame companies for price gouging. Well, they're not price gouging the cost of fuel to transport the stuff. So, crazy is what crazy does. But seriously, it's fun watching the Democrats scramble. They do have very intelligent, well-educated people. They are going to come up with a plan. I'm sure they have one right now. They just don't know how to implement it. And we're going to see it. It's going to be exciting. I even saw that Scaramucci guy there that used to be supporting Trump. Now he's supporting Biden. And, you know, they can't do anything without being criticized now. It's beautiful. Because they're not getting away with it. They're in their bubble and they think these things make sense to people. This is the latest one Scaramucci did. Oh, Biden was at a campaign fundraiser. He read the teleprompter properly, did everything great. Brian Stelter of CNN came behind him and said, "Why does Biden need a teleprompter for a fundraiser? That's not normal." Because they don't want him to speak. Now, Stelter didn't say that. He just said a one-sentence word, but it was sufficient. It ended up trending on X. Basically, they're just saying that Biden can't talk in public without a teleprompter because he's got dementia and he's going to do something to embarrass himself and hurt the campaign. Brian Stelter knows that. So Brian Stelter, anti-Trump friggin' egghead, doesn't want Trump to get in office, and he knows that stuff like that, you know, these journalists are doing their job now. I wish, for God's sake, it was because they honored their job as a journalist, but it isn't. They're just afraid of Trump getting elected because he's winning, and not by a little bit. So now the media is all of a sudden doing their job to get rid of Biden. It's the funniest thing I have ever seen in my lifetime. I'm sorry if I'm giggling, but it's... When are you ever going to see this again? As bad as the over-top stupidity we watch the media do with COVID, Black Lives Matter, these are the same people that called the rioting mostly peaceful protesting. People died, businesses got burned, people got stabbed, assaulted. We saw how bad they were, okay? We've not forgotten. And to see them doing this now, oh my God, it's like the funniest damn thing. This is like the friggin' Hindenburg in slow motion, okay? The original Hindenburg, there was a spark. Everything ignited in it. It went up, it burned, crashed to the ground, killed everybody on it. Now we're seeing this in slow motion. We had the debate. That was the spark that set off the explosion. Because Republicans were telling people, that stuff you got in your blimp, one little spark, it's all going to come out. You might as well just do it now. It's obvious Biden has dementia. Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he's fine. I've been around him in the White House, talked with him. He's fine. You guys don't know what you're talking about. That's what they've been doing for 4 years. Almost 4 years. Now we had the spark on the Hindenburg, and it's like in ultra slow motion. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Sit back and enjoy this. Sit back and enjoy it. And yes, they are going to cheat again in the election. But right now, they would need to cheat with so many votes. Even if they're cheating, they're not going to be able to win. As it is right now. I don't know how the dynamics would change if they force Joe out. They're still going to have black people upset because of Kamala Harris not being made the candidate. There's really nothing else they can do. They would have to force Joe to resign. And then Kamala Harris, according to the Constitution, assumes the presidency. She would be President Harris. Thankfully, coming up to the end of that term, and they're not going to win with her. They're not. So they would have to have both of them resign, which isn't going to happen. And then they would have to explain to black people why Kamala had to resign and she wasn't the candidate. It's not going to work for them. You know it and I know it. So I think they're going to have to force Joe out and just circle the wagons around Harris. At least she doesn't have dementia, but she's an idiot and a moron, and everybody knows it in the party. She might choose somebody like Cory Booker, who she's very good friends with, to be vice president. I don't know what kind of loopholes they have to do that. That would make more sense to me than Pete Buttigieg. I think they would pick Senator Booker. I think he would definitely do that. And I think the governor in the state that Booker comes from would appoint a favorable Democrat in his spot. So, because the more I've looked at it and researched it, they really don't have many options with their voters. They don't. Voters are not happy with Biden and Harris either. But what can they do about that? And they're going to have to make a decision. That's obvious. But they can't force Biden out. They can't. The only way they could do that, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, is the 25th Amendment. You need the White House doctor. You need the White House Chief of Staff. And you need the Vice President, Kamala Harris, who has already come out and said, Joe's fine, I support him 100%. So, good luck explaining that one. He was fine a week and a half ago, but now he's not. So, that's what's going on. And then, like I said before, you'd have to have the Republican Congress enact the 25th in tandem with the other party. It would be bipartisan. It would basically be saying, you know what? The Republicans were right. Biden does have dementia and he's unfit for office. So they're never going to give the Republicans that kind of win. They're just not. And I think everybody knows that. So, Biden it is. I don't think they have a choice. And it's beautiful because the media doesn't want him. This is wonderful. This is, this is great. Trump's just sitting there eating a friggin' taco bowl with a smile on his face, watching the news. Fantastic. Trump has had to pay out a little bit of money for the legal stuff. Speaking of that, June 28th, the Supreme Court ruled on that case in Texas about the J6 prisoners being wrongfully imprisoned on that law. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think they're all about to be released, over 300 of them. They were all charged with that. So was Trump. They charged Trump with that ruling as well, that loophole. The Supreme Court said 6-3 that that's not what that law was intended for. It was intended for something else, for Enron. That scandal had to do with the government being able to regulate, and the Supreme Court said that was unconstitutional. So now you have all of these people that have been imprisoned. Now I'm going to get real serious for a minute. They've all been imprisoned. They need to be set free because now legally they have an argument, but they got to file the lawsuits. You still have Democrats in power in DC who are going to fight against it, so they're going to be in jail for a while longer. But you know what's going to come later? You're going to get 300 plus people released. Well, they were wrongfully prosecuted by a rogue attorney general, Merrick Garland, who is going to end up being one of the worst ones we've ever had. His name is going to be sullied. He is going to be removed from that position, and he's never going to have a position of power ever again because of it. Because he damn well should have known the laws. But they thought, they were arrogant. They figured Trump was finished. They felt they ended Trump. They did everything, indicted him, and they just assumed the public would, well, Donald Trump's a convicted felon, well, whatever. I'm not voting for him. And they thought the Republican Party would put somebody else out there, maybe Nikki Haley or somebody like that. And the voters are very stern and they understand. They understand this isn't about Donald Trump anymore. This is bigger than that. This is unelected bureaucrats interfering in our elections. It's out of hand. Something has to be done about it. So, Trump it is. So anyway, you got 300 plus, I think it's 320 something or 360 people imprisoned from J6 that were, it's turning out, is wrongfully imprisoned. So you're probably going to have a mass lawsuit against the government, because that's usually what happens when you have like several cases. You usually combine them and you sue, and they're going to win that. These people were wrongfully imprisoned, lost their jobs, lost their careers in many cases, branded as traitors. They are never going to be looked at as anything else but a traitor for the rest of their life because of the media, the Democrats, and this political narrative of get Trump. Trump said when he's elected, he's going to free the non-violent ones, which he should. or the misdemeanor offenses that they kicked up to felonies on that rule that the Supreme Court overturned. So I think you're going to see a lot of lawsuits. The government is going to be paying out a lot of money, just like they did with Ruby Ridge when they wrongfully killed that man's family, well, half of their family. But the damage is already done. They have damaged this country. I absolutely hate and loathe left-wing Democrats now. And also loathe the moderates who sit there on their hands not saying anything when they see and they know what's going on. And they're out there. People like Bill Maher are talking. That's nice. You don't have to like Trump. You just have to see and understand what they're doing and find it not acceptable. Look at it like I do. One man is not worth tearing down our institutions, our justice system, shredding our Constitution over. If one man is capable of doing that, then something has gone very wrong, and it has. And it's with the Democrats. They're awful, power-hungry, maniacal, megalomaniacal. They're arrogant. And they're going to be facing some comeuppance here pretty soon, because this is still America. Might get away with that crap in Europe. You're not going to get away with it here. Speaking of Europe, France is gone, folks. It's gone. I don't think it's ever coming back. So the conservatives there did too well, and they were poised to win the second round of the elections. So what happened was two of the parties in the middle resigned and stepped out of it, relinquishing their, I guess, whatever you would equate to their delegates, and telling their voters to vote for the left wing, the far left. All right, these guys are far left Looney Tunes, and they just won Parliament. They're not going to have a majority, thankfully, a super majority, but they will have a slight majority. They are going to have to work with the other parties, but it might be enough to keep an even keel for France, but you're going to end up seeing Arabic being added to the national language. You're going to see they're going to be granting citizenship to all these illegals that came in France. You're going to see a 90% tax rate. And basically what happens in France is the four biggest cities just elected governing for the entire country. So all of these farmers that have been suffering under gas taxes and stuff, it's going to get even worse. And I'm predicting France is going to implode. You're going to see nationwide riots, maybe even a civil war for real, because people aren't going to be able to survive. These young socialists voted the power in. And they're gloating, they're rubbing it in. The far left extremists have been waiting to get control of France, and now they just got it. And it's a big deal. This is really bad for France. I had my hopes up because the conservatives did so well. But, you know, those two middle parties, because of partisanship, wouldn't side with basically France's Trump. So they ended up giving up their friggin' country to the far left socialist extremists. You're going to see people going to jail for not using correct pronouns, all of that. So France is done, it's gone. If you live there, I'm telling you, just pack your crap and leave. It's gone. You're not going to get it back. Once they're rooted in, that's it. They will change all of the election laws. They'll do everything to stay in power. It's over. France, you had your chance, but it's gone. Here we go with the Bambulance. We got a Bambulance. There it goes. On a call from the Bambulance place right here, United Ambulance. So anyway, that's it. France is done. Stick a fork in it, it's done. Pack your crap and leave. It's gone for good. No more Vive la France. And if you're an idiot and you want to go visit there and spend your vacation money, you're a fool, because you're going to get hacked up with a machete because you looked at somebody different, and the police won't do anything there. So that's what they're going to do. Yep. Well, that's it. Goodbye, France. Nice knowing ya. Germany's gone. France is gone. Sweden's gone. Sweden woke up a little bit. Some Conservative Party person won, but you know, the thing is in Europe is, you know, Marine Le Pen is like an American conservative. In Europe, most of those conservatives there they're just on the right. You know, they're not conservatives. So a lot of times when you get a conservative win in Europe, it's not good. We just saw the Conservatives control the UK for the last 2 years, and they've done absolutely nothing. And they just got voted out by huge numbers. So now I guess they got the Labour Party, which is kind of like, they pass themselves off as moderate, but they're on the left. Everybody that votes for them hates people like Trump, and they hate Americans. So, whatever. It's not my friggin' problem. They're bringing World War III to their shores because they're friggin' stupid. And, you know, friggin' United States are gonna have to go bail everybody's ass out again. Friggin' outrageous. Don't worry, France. We'll go bail your ass out again. For the third fucking time. Excuse my French. Jeez, these people are stupid. Their friggin' national slogan basically is, we signed, we quit, we give up. Well, there you have it. Conservatives are going to try to win in Canada, but that's going to be rigged against them too. They're going to pull all these different political maneuvers. I don't know if Justin Trudeau is going to stay in power, but he's been the Prime Minister in Canada for 9 years now. These are the same people that criticize Putin for staying in power for 12, 13, 14 years, 20 years. They all want the same thing. So, we'll see what voters do in Canada. I still, you never hear about it, but there's too many Liberals winning elections. I was really surprised that the Conservatives in Toronto won that special election. Let's see what happens. We're gonna see what happens in Canada. Canada. All right. Walk it along. Whew. A lot of exercise today. It was a lot of work mowing the property today in this heat. It was not fun, I have to admit. But it would have been worse if I had waited till after it rained later this week. So, another hot day tomorrow. Another hot day, day after that. Both days are going to be about 90. Humid. And then we're going to have that rain coming in, which will probably be pretty welcomed at this point. Really has not rained very much this year. No complaints. I don't complain about it. It's not why I'm saying it. I'm just surprised. So, soldier on. Got my stamina up good doing all that earlier, and I'm glad I decided to go for a walk. Had to talk myself into it a little bit. But now I don't have a headache. Walked it off. Beautiful evening. Absolutely lovely. Canada. Canada. All right. Whew. It's got 4 miles. 4 miles at the church. Four miles at the church. One more mile. For the video, anyways. Gotta go a little bit further than that. Just a little bit. Crystal clear skies tonight. Well, not crystal. It's humid, so it's some haze up there. When I get back, I'll have some sparkling fizzy stuff. Probably eat a handful of peanuts. (10:01 p.m.) 75 degrees, according to that sign. (75 degrees at 10 o'clock at night, because it was 90 today. It was hot. Oh, they get their running lights out. They get their headlights on with their whole lights on the back, or they're gonna get pulled over. That's a good way to get pulled over. Cops will pull people over for that, even in the city, because you can't see them. Oh, they just put their lights on. They had them off. Oh, they're off again. So he's only got brake lights. He only had brake lights. Brake lights and nothing else. Now it's still the beginning of July, pretty much, July 8th. We've needed the AC for the past week. It's run for 1 or 2 days at a time, just twice this year. And now it's running all day and all night. Because we got humidity. Hey, how you doing?
How about yourself?
Not too bad. I always say hello and make eye contact. So anyways, back. I'll have some peanuts, something to drink, relax, take another shower. When it's hot and humid like this, I take a shower at least twice a day. Look at the screeching machinery again. Sounds like some kind of belt squeaking. Also got sirens. All hell's breaking loose. Wow. Got a nice little breeze. It actually feels cool. 75 degrees and it feels cool. It's kind of funny. Something going on. All right. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're going to hit 4.5 miles around the corner here. Around the corner. Oh, I just hit it now. I just hit 4.5 now. Seems kind of early to me. Isn't that interesting? I usually hit 4.5 up around the corner here. To the right. Maybe I hit a weird spot of GPS. GPS discrepancy. Somebody else I want to recommend that's doing YouTube right now is Megan Kelly. She knows what's going on. She's on it and she's doing a great job. So if you're not watching her already, you should give her a watch. That's my endorsement. All right, head down this way. Somebody across the street up ahead. Nobody behind me. Whew. Sweat dripping down my face again, rolling down my back again. car with 2 kayaks on it. You know, that would be a lot of fun. Actually, I don't think that was actually a kayak where you get in it and you're sealed in it, like you can roll upside down in the water. I think those look like 2 modern looking canoes. They don't look the same as they used to. It's like kayak style canoes, I guess. Might be fun. I think I would enjoy that. Go on the river in a kayak canoe. Got my GoPro, or the GoPro. Get some really good video with that, I bet. On the Androscoggin. Most of it, like this time of year, is nice and calm. Yeah, that's why I don't see the dog in the pool anymore. That house, got a whole Muslim family that lives there now. That guy that lived there did move. He moved away. All right, well, I want to thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe. Share the gun content, especially if you're into some kind of group somewhere where people walk and they don't mind hearing a Republican rant and bumble and mumble. Share those there too. And hope you have a great week, rest of week. Like I said, stay cool, drink liquids, and pretty much hot everywhere in the country right now. Some more than others. I guess another person died this week, and they got lost, I guess, and they didn't take what they needed with them. And now they're no longer with us. It was some woman that was missing. I don't remember where. In the southwest somewhere. They've been getting 115, 118 degrees. So be safe out there, everybody. Take care of yourself, so look out for each other. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Thanks for walking with me. Look at my shadow right here. Bye.